Hey there, Northern Valley Youth Orchestra trombonists. It's Ryan again. I just wanted to make a quick 10-minute practice video for you guys on how to get a good warm-up, how to practice our fundamentals. Just ideas of what to be practicing when you're not totally sure what to be practicing. And so I think, a lot of times trombonists can get really nerdy about exactly what they want to be doing with their warm-ups. But my goal today is to take 10 minutes and show you how to get a really good warm-up in knowing nothing more than just an F major scale. So if you don't know your F major scale yet, go ask your band director and go ask somebody and learn it really fast and come back and we'll do this exercise. But that's all we're going to use today is we're only going to use an F major scale, and I'm going to show you how we can work through using that on our mouthpiece, how we can use that to address playing long tones, we can use that to address lip slurs and flexibility, and we can use that to address our tonguing and articulations, all right? And it's all we're going to use is just the F major scale, and I'm going to challenge myself to zip through this. This might be the kind of video that you need to pause and come back to at different spots so that you can get everything that we're talking about. Sorry, grabbing my trombone here. But I'm going to do my best to try to keep this under 10 minutes. I tend to talk too much. But anyways, the first thing that I would do actually is not even with the trombone at all. We're going to just talk about breathing and establishing a good breath before we start playing the instrument, before we start buzzing the mouthpiece. So you're very good at breathing. I don't know you personally yet, but I know you're very good at breathing because you're watching this and you're probably not blue. So we want to utilize that. We're very, very good at breathing. The only thing we really want to change is we want to be a little bit more intentional about how we breathe in, the shape of our mouth when we breathe in and blow out, and just kind of, I'm going to give you a little visual aid to help us think about this. It's all going to be very natural. It should never feel tense. You don't feel tense when you're breathing. You should just feel super relaxed and super easy when you're breathing. But what I like to do is I like to think about making a circle here, and we're going to be breathing in and blowing out through that circle. And as you can see with my hand here, I like to think about this drawing back and pushing forward motion, right? We think about that kind of emotion when we breathe. So what I would do then is I'd probably take about set a metronome. I guess I should have had one, but I'm going to kind of internally keep time here. And I'm going to be thinking about breathing in a quarter note and blowing out a dotted half note. So 3 counts out, 1 count back. 3 counts that way, 1 count this way. So I'll just walk you through what that'll be, what that would look like, and you can do it on your own. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Right. So now we're taking that breath, and now we're just going to take exactly that same breath, and we're going to move it through the mouthpiece on an F. So I'm sitting at a piano. I'm going to find an F here, but you can also find it on your trombone, just playing an F. So we'll pick up that mouthpiece, and I'm still thinking, drawing back, blowing forward. So. Nice. Good job. And all of that time we're focusing on keeping our air as steady and relaxed as possible. Now we're going to take that and we're going to start thinking about our F major scale. We're going to start taking those pitches down. We'll walk down a couple pitches at a time. Right now we're going to take the first 4 notes of the F major scale going down. So we're going to think F, E, D, C. Do, ti, la, so. Just like that, right? I also advocate singing a lot when I practice. I sing every day when I practice on the trombone, and I recommend you do the same. So we're going to take that same breath, and now we're just going to walk down the first 4 steps of the F major scale. Nice job. Good. And now we're going to start in the same spot, same F, and we're going to walk up the first 4 notes of the F major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, just like that. So, taking that same breath. Nice. Now we might pop down and do the last 4 notes of the F major scale going down. We can check on the instrument for that. It would leave us starting on a B flat. fa, mi, re, do. Kind of low for me there, but let's get that to the mouthpiece. Right? That might be challenging. Might be challenging to buzz that low. What I would recommend, be sure that we keep the same open syllable, the same O or ah syllable that we use in the upper and middle registers when we're going down low. A lot of students tend to collapse their mouth and go or something, or get that tongue up to kind of fake getting that note out. I always tell my students, I would much rather you miss the note doing it the right way than get the note by cheating it or by doing it a way that's not going to make the best sound, right? Always about the sound. If you have to tap out, if you can't even get that B flat, okay, that's fine. We'll try it again tomorrow, right? And wherever you find that level is when you're going down, just stop there. And the next day you're going to try to get a little bit farther, get a little bit lower, but always keeping that open sound, right? And we can do the same thing going up. So that would be sol, la, ti, do. Up there. Taking that same breath. Right? Okay, and as much as we can to keep a nice, even, relaxed sound. I got a little bit of some crud in the sound there. Obviously, we work to get that out. But I do the same routine every day, things like it anyways, the same ideas. Once we've done that, now I think it's time to come over to the instrument. And we're just going to take our scales really slowly and really methodically. Again, we're just going to do the same F major scale going down, same F major scale going up from that center F. And so what I would normally do is I would actually just go one note at a time, and down and up. So something like this. Right? Do, ti, do. And now I'm going to flip and go up. Okay, now I'm going to go down again and add a note. So F, E, D, E, F, back, down and back up. Right, and now we can go up 3 notes. So do, re, mi, re, do. Right. And now if you're like me at this point, you'll need a reminder to take those same breaths as we go through. We'll do just one more either direction, but obviously you want to finish the scale going both directions, right? So we'll go down to C. Nice. And just always focusing on keeping an even connected sound. Doesn't matter if you're a good singer, it always helps to sing. It's going to tell you a lot about how to play the instrument. Now, I'm going to show you going up. We're going to go up to a B flat, but I'm going to show you another way to do this. Instead of glissandoing or just completely smooth, again, we're not using our tongue at all. I don't want you to be using your tongue at this point. But instead of doing that, I want to think about doing an air start on every single note. This is really, really good for us to start getting accuracy and the sound that we want to happen immediately instead of fuh. So what that would sound like would be like ha, 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 ha on the trombone. Now I still haven't used my tongue. I'm still starting all of those with the air. Right. Okay, so if you do both of those styles and carry them all the way down to the low F, all the way up to the upper F, that's going to be a really, really good challenge for you to start getting the best sound you can in really the meat of our register, where we play most often, from that low F to that upper F. If you want, this is totally appropriate. I know I've been showing you all stuff without using the tongue, but you could totally add the tongue in there too, and focus on maybe playing staccato, playing totally fine, totally fine. Now, to move on to some quick flexibility here, we're going to take this same concept of 2 scales going the opposite direction, but instead of doing them separately, we're going to think about doing them at the same time. So what that means is we're going to go down a note, back to F, up a note, back to F. So to start, we're going to think F, E, F, G, F, right? So that would sound like this. Okay, so the next step is where it starts to get a little bit trickier. Instead of going just one step lower and one step higher, we're actually going to skip down 2 steps lower and 2 steps higher. So 2 steps lower on the F major scale, we're going to go to a D. 2 steps higher on the F major scale, we're going to go to an A. We're going to skip out on the E and the G totally this time. So as you go, this is going to start getting wider and wider, and we have to connect. So instead of F, E, F, G, F, now we're going to do F, D, F, A, F. Right? And if you keep doing this, the next one would be F, C, F, B flat, F. Getting a little bit wider and a little more challenging. The next one, F, B flat, F, C, F. Next one, F, A, F, D, F. Give it a shot. Nice. And these last two get very challenging, even just staying within 2 octaves. We're going to go F, G, F, E, F. And finally, F, 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 F. There we go. Right? And if that's not hard enough for you, if you want to keep pushing yourself, there's no reason to stop there. You can actually start spreading out even farther, you know? You know? Keep going. Keep taking that same pattern and spreading it out. You can, it's limitless until you find yourself doing stuff that you couldn't imagine yourself doing. Last thing that we want to do, we want to tackle a little bit of tonguing. We haven't, if you're doing this the way I did it, you haven't used your tongue yet, which is fine. The tongue is the last part of the equation that we want here. We want to be sure that our air is always happening first. But our tongue is very important. We want to have crisp, clear articulation. So one thing that I always like to do is take not a melody, but a rhythm that I'm very familiar with, and just play it up and down the scale. So, you know, maybe I'll do, if there's the Suzuki folks out there, we could do the tucka stop stop. I sometimes do that, the ta 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 ta. Today I'm feeling like doing the old William Tell rhythm. That's we do that with Dallas Brass, and been talking with my Dallas Brass colleagues today, so I have it on the brain. So just thinking da 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 da, right? You always think da 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 da, right? But we're gonna take that. We're just gonna play that rhythm every note on an F major scale. So we'll start going up this time, and we'll go here. So something like this. Right? That's not anything that you need to have written out, and it doesn't have to be that rhythm. It can be something that you know. It can be something like, for the Hamilton people out there, I love that rhythm. Anyways, but you can do it with all sorts of stuff. So I'm sure I'm over. Oh man, I am. I couldn't see the time at the top of the screen. But here's a quick 14 to 15 minute video of how to just use an F major scale and get a really good warm up in every time. I hope it's been helpful, and best of luck. See you around.